All right, morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. We're running a little bit late, a few minutes. Shout out to every single clean hearted, good hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. Seymour Bennett, thank you for being the first one here this morning and the only one here this morning. Listen, I was running a little bit late, but I'm here. All right, and we're still gonna get into the things and talk up the things as usual, like we normally do. All right, what we have on the table this morning. Why do I feel like I'm rushing myself? Hold on, let me slow down a little bit. Feel like me a rush. I have some apple juice in my cup this morning. Not even tea. Didn't really get much sleep. Woke up. Let me see. I went to bed like after 2 a.m. and woke up at 6. So didn't get much sleep last night. That's why I'm put on the glasses them still, because you could probably see it in my eyes. I didn't get a lot of sleep. All right. But anyway, me there. So let's get on with the show. And then we're gonna big up some people and do all the things that we normally do. The lines are open. 1-806-587-8953. Vicky Victory still has not gotten through to me yet. So she still hasn't gotten her money yet. I'm still waiting on you. What we have on the table, congratulations to the Reggae Girlz. Jamaica Reggae Girlz have qualified for the World Cup. Give them a round of applause. You know, the women are holding us up. So they are on the, I was going to say athletic, but not athletic, track and field as well. You know, you have Shalean Fraser-Price, Elaine Thompson Herah, just a host of girls, ladies, women, Sharika Jackson. There's a new one. She was an NCAA champion, by the way, big on the NCAA scene, broke records and set records, and then went pro. And we're gonna talk about all that in a minute. So shout out to the Jamaica Reggae Girlz for qualifying World Cup qualifications again. All right. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about if they're underfunded, or we know they're underfunded. They don't get enough support like the men do. And even though when was the last time the Reggae Boys actually caused a stir? But it is reported that the Reggae Boys are higher paid and they get way more incentives than the Reggae Girls do. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. Elaine Thompson Herah, fastest woman in the world, whether you like it or not. She has ditched, or she has switched sides, it seems. And I'm going to tell you why they're saying that Elaine Thompson Herah has switched sides. And then, very interesting, I was just reading a speech Andrew Holness gave recently, and he is calling on the nation to be aware of false prophets. We're going to get into the details of that speech as well. So Andrew called for the nation to be aware of false prophets. Then you have Elaine Thompson Herah switching sides, or seems like she's switching sides. We'll get into all them details there. And again, our Reggae Girls qualify for World Cup. Big things are going. See? With all that going on, let me big up some people, and then we'll get right into and get started. Because we're late enough, so we just have to hit the ground running this morning. Seymour Bennett, big up yourself. Thank you for being the first one in this morning. Prelis123 is here. King Biggs, morning fam. Dainty D is in the building. Dainty D, big up yourself, and thank you. Vicky Victory, good morning. Vicky, get in touch with me, no, man. My conscience is bother me. I'm not like hold on to people things, you know. So get in touch. Star K, big up yourself. Thank you for being here. Richie Shiva, thank you for being here. Jet Shelley, thank you for being here. Darlene Walter Riley, thank you for being here. Vicky Victory, SouFLoTV@gmail.com. Just send me your number again and send me your name. That's it. Send me your name and your number. I'll go right back into the same Zelle and I'll send you your stuff. All right. Star K there. Star K says, made it early. You made it early when I'm late. Anita Kenan, thank you for being here. Main Toby is in the building. Senior Sexy Daya. Sean Cassell there. Marcia McGran Lopez is here. Dorothy T is in the building this morning. Marcia McGran Lopez, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope all is well. Dorothy T is here. Maxine Good as Gold is in the building this morning. It's good as gold. But may I say good as gold because in Jamaica, when we are chat patois, we don't say gold, we say goal. Like when you kick goal in a football. Richie Shiva is in the building this morning. Vanessa is here. Purple Royal is here. Fallon Carrington is here. Good morning, fam. And blessings to you and your house as well. Divine Order. Haven't seen you in a while either. I hope all is well. Shalom at SouFLoTV. Morning Thoughts family from Chicago. Kristen Simpson is here. Naturally Yours LTD. Naturally Yours Limited. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you greatly. Great Goodies is in the building this morning. Thank you for being here. And Karen Notice says, good morning, SouFlo and family and everyone tuning in. Enough blessings and enough love. All right. Reggae Girl Bento is here. Janet Stewart's here. And of course, we already said Seymour Bennett. Seymour Bennett says, big up the Reggae Girls. And Divine Order says, the weather is warm and the streets are hot in Chicago. All right. The weather is hot down here in Florida. Donna Davis, Wayne Nathan, Audrey Wright, Stacey Ann Williams. If I didn't call anybody else's name, then you already know. It's manners and respect, same way, right? Soldier 819, big up yourself. Beast Boy is here, and Vicky Victory says, will do. All right, I look forward to that. SouFLoTV at gmail.com, number and name, real name. All right, not your alias. And I'll send your thing right over to you. All right, people, listen. Let me get into this real quick, because one of them here seemed very interesting, but you know how our thing go already. Whichever one gets the most attention. Where do we start? Haven't done this in a while. Where should I start? Should I start out with Elaine switching sides? Or should I start out with Andrew Holness telling the nation to be aware of false prophets? Or should I start out with the Reggae Girlz? Because the Reggae Girlz thing is a big article I'm going to run through real quick, just to get Elaine. We get two Elaine so far. One Andrew. Next Andrew again. Next Andrew again. Blood fire. Next Andrew again. One Elaine. Reggae Girlz. One Reggae Girlz. Elaine, Andrew, Elaine, Andrew. It's going down. It's between Elaine and Andrew. And they're on the go. And it's Andrew, and Andrew, and Andrew again. One more Elaine and another Andrew. And we're heading towards the finish line. And it's Andrew again, and Elaine, and Andrew, and Andrew, and Andrew. And one more Elaine, Andrew. Make we go with Elaine first. Yo, well, it's not easy, you know. We're going. I'll be an Andrew. All right. Andrew win. I gotta go with Andrew. I'll be an Andrew, Messi. I was gonna say, Beck, we go with Iliad first, yes? No, but I'll be an Andrew did it. So, all right, we're gonna go with Andrew first. Andrew it is. Why, Andrew, you're trending this morning? All right, sir. So here, Andrew, you know Andrew do already. He is well spoken and he use some big words where half of Jamaica can't understand. It's not like we're undereducated on these things. So we're gonna get into Andrew big speech. Fine, Andrew win. Andrew win, him win. You win this month. Don't call him Andrew again. You better say your excellency. We have to say now. Your excellency, right honorable. All right. Don't pass your place. Remember when your granny used to tell you, don't pass your place. All right. So, while he was warning the Jamaica, shout out to the Loop. While he was warning the Jamaicans to be aware of false prophets, bringing unrealistic hopes to them, Prime Minister Andrew, let me say this before. I'm a bit biased on this message, and I find the message weird, right? So anybody that is speaking hope or bringing hope to you is looked at as a false prophet. But anyhow, let me just go through the message, all right? And then we get the crime minister. D-Mac said crime minister. Buju Banton did call him crime. Buju didn't mince the words either. Buju Banton said the crime minister and him friend them. But I find that funny because then I see picture with Buju Banton and give him dap and them smiling in pictures and stuff like that. So I don't know. All right. All right, here we go. So while warning Jamaicans to be wary of false prophets, bringing unrealistic hopes, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has assured that his Jamaica Labour Party administration will ensure that the nation emerges stronger and better from the current global crisis that is being felt locally. He's the savior, in other words. Look no otherwhere else. You know what I'm saying? Look to Jesus. No, look to Andrew. Look no otherwhere else. Look to the JLP. Look no otherwhere else. Crisis is nothing new to Jamaica, and we have survived crisis before, and we have emerged stronger and better, said Andrew while he was speaking at a church service, hallelujah, to the March the 79th, and to mark the 79th anniversary of the JLP. A church and state. Church and state wrap up in a Jamaica, and they're like this. They're always loving and canoodling with each other. And them run the place, church and state. You better know that. But anyhow, the Jamaica Labour Party has always been at the leadership, even at the forefront of strengthening the country, assisting it through recovery and ensuring that as a nation, not only do we survive, but that we thrive, he declared. I'm just reading. I can't help but to think, I'm breaking a lot, but walk with me, you know what I'm doing already. I can't help but to think, I saw Chief Curry is on a campaign, okay? And Chief Curry is passing out information that I think is very, very pertinent information, valid information, like life-saving information he's passing out. I see a lot of us are really not paying attention to it. I've had people from other countries that are asking me why are Jamaicans not supporting Chief Curry in this thing, SouFLo? I said I don't know. I think most Jamaicans don't know and don't care to know. But you don't have to go see what Chief Curry are going with. Please just go to his Instagram. Go to his Instagram and check it out. All right, and then form your own opinion after. Reading this and then watching that all week, it in my head, in my forehead, I go so. See, two of them just a buck up right there in my forehead, on the inside of my head, because you can't see. This is what's going on inside my head. So I'm stuttering as I'm reading this because I know what's going on underneath it all. You know, so for somebody to come and tell you, look no further, I'm the one, I'm your savior, beware of false prophets. But you know, like when somebody lie to you and they tell you, say, me hate lying people, you see, me can't take people, me can't stand people who lie. And you're like, well, that's you. You lie all the damn time, but they're warning you of liars. Yeah. Beware of thief, because them boy them with thief out the whole of your stuff. Meanwhile, they're moving with half of your stuff in their hand and push it in them pocket. You have to beware of thief, you know, you have to look out for thief. You see any thief around here? Come in a like thief, you know. And while they're thieving, it's weird. They're right to say I'm fired like this. You know? But okay, I'm gonna keep on going. All right. There has been much criticism from the opposition People's National Party of the government's response to the rising cost of living locally. The Russia-Ukraine war also continues to disrupt the global supply chain, resulting in rising inflation and food price globally. I think it's kind of funny that when time certain people go to war, everybody suffer. Gas price gone up. Media the gas pump, I'm like 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95. I sound like one auctioneer, and I'm wondering when is the number going to end? You know, 60, 65, 70, 75 million. No, man, me have to squeeze the thing now because I want to fill the tank. And by the way, those of you who are filling up your tank, please know that it's best to fill the tank. When you left the tank half, something about space left in the tank, and you know the vehicle does suck in more gas than it normally does. So your little $40 what you put in there instead of the 80 to fill it is going to yam it out faster, and you have to go put an next 40 in there again. So just fill up the tank if you have it and done. Not many people are, it's something that we have to do. Okay, you have to drive. You have to get to where you need to go. right? So it don't make no sense complain about it. Food you have to eat, so it don't make no sense complain about it. But the price of these things are crazy. I went to the pump the other day and 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 50, I end up at 98. 98 US dollars, almost 100 US dollars. I just call that $100. Cause what me I gonna do with $2? My daughter, that's 8 years old, when she asking for money, she asks for $10 and $20. So what me I gonna do with $2? I can't even give her. So it's $100 to fill my tank, 100 US dollars to fill my tank. It rough out there. It rough. We give her $2. She's like, what's this? What am I supposed to give this to Kai? Kai's 4. Am I supposed to give this to Kai? Like, what can I do with this, Dad? You know, it rough out there. All right. And she's 8, so you can imagine later. All right. Hear this now. Still, opposition leader Mark Golding, while on the political hustling on the weekend, called on the government to do more, claiming that the social assistance that is being provided by the government is not enough. Golding has also been championing the options of removing unbudgeted levels of the gas tax and cutting back on debt payment in order to provide more assistance for Jamaicans who he said are suffering badly from the rise of cost of living. Everything gone up, you know, man. Jamaica expensive, you know. Me not lie. Everything gone up except for people's wages. Jamaica is expensive, bad. God no. But for those who live locally off the local economy, it ain't that expensive. Country people know what I talk about, most of all. You live off the land and you only spend where it's necessary. We not grow rice, so we're going to buy a couple pounds of rice out there, so all that. But for the most part, we not really eat rice. It's only on Sunday we see rice and peas. So other than that, is yam dasheen, cocoa, breadfruit, and banana and them thing there. So we're not ball about that, like people at town and other places, right? All right, so on Sunday, Andrew Holness used his address of the church service to warn Jamaicans of false prophets, who he said are providing them with false hope. He cited Bible now, you know. He cited Jeremiah 29, verse 11 to help highlight his point. If you read the entire chapter, you would see, like many Jamaicans now, that the children of Israel were in the land of Babylon and had been taken from their promised land. They had given up hope. They had lost faith. And there were many false prophets telling them that, don't worry, man. In 2 years, you will be taken out of Babylon and returned to the promised land, said Holness. Now, according to him, a similar situation is now occurring in Jamaica where false prophets are making promises. Never mind. Sidetrack for a minute. Never mind. In better they tell the people them say you are the, them same people that he's talking about, the Israelites, them are you that, and false prophets are really among you, cause Siwanya. Anyhow, and this is Babylon for real. All right, he said that they were telling the citizens that don't worry, we will just remove the tax off the gas. I throw them a word, between him and Mark Golden. them a dashboard. Andrew got a church got dashboard for Mark. Mark said remove the taxes. Andrew got church got say they are telling you that they will remove the tax of gas. Don't worry, we can make it hold. Don't worry, easy. But the scripture is such that if you read it carefully, it was essentially saying to the children of Israel, listen, you are going to have tough times. Buckle in, settle down, be strategic about what you're doing. Long suffering is what he's preaching. And prosperity theme owner said, I'm gonna have panda part there. All right, let me come back to the script. All right, listen, you are going to have tough times. Buckle in, settle down, be strategic about what you're doing. It'll take a little time, but don't be distracted by false prophets preaching false hope, Andrew said. He remember prosperity, them run pan, Um, and the prosperity. Now the same people them that told you that the prosperity was coming is now telling you to buckle in and basically settle down and be strategic about what you're doing and prepare for long suffering. Yeah. Whew. He reiterated his call for citizens to remain focused and calm. Calm down. As the country has overcome crisis in the past, because that's what we're known for doing. Suffering and overcoming crisis and not holding our leaders accountable for what it is that they're supposed to be doing while them sell we out and we suffer the brunt of their actions while they fill their bank accounts offshore and take fancy vacations and do fancy things with them life while we suffer and we are buckled in. Listen, man, most Jamaicans been buckled in and hunkered down and doing all that to ask them to do most of them life. But yeah, you're right though that we're used to that. We're used to that. I seen somebody say it yesterday. SouFlo Jamaicans are very resourceful. We're survivors and all this stuff. We take we hand ton fashion and we make something. And I say yes, that's true. However, how long are we gonna keep doing that? Like barely surviving, barely scraping by, and then always talking about it's rough but we're tough, so we survive. Like, can we have a moment of easiness? Can we have a moment of prosperity? You know, can we actually have a moment of prosperity? Because all the suffering that they're talking about and hunkering down and buckling in, them not do none of that. They're not doing any of that. The president of Sri Lanka runway and left the country. Anyways, as y'all know, Monday we covered that, right? About the Sri Lanka, how they overran the president's palace and took over everything, swimming at the swimming pool, cock up them foot in the living room. Them say, no man, if we money pay for all this. So until you can do what we ask you to do, or them replace you with somebody better, we are gonna stay in there so and enjoy like this. None of we don't have AC, but you in here under Antarctica and it hot out a door and these kind of things. So essentially, I'm telling you, none of them are doing this. Buckle down, settle in, suffer, long suffering. You're tough people, you're used to this. Them boost you up by telling you that you are tough people, you're strong people, you're used to this, and we feel good enough. We're like, yes, we come from Nani and Paul Bogle and people, we're strong people, we are warriors, we're tough. All the while, them a sweet you up enough for you alone go through the suffering because they're not going through any suffering. I can guarantee you that. Them people here don't complain about gas price. They don't complain about food price. They don't complain about cost of living, period. All right? All right. Now, that is our wish and our prayer as we gather here in the tabernacle, asking for God's grace. This is Andrew still talking, right? He reiterated his call for citizens to remain focused and remain calm as the country has overcome crisis in the past. He said that this is our wish and our prayer as we gather here in the tabernacle, asking for God's grace, God's guidance, God's protection, and God's endowment of wisdom as we hold our hands steadily on the ship of state going through very difficult waters and strong headwinds. But we will, as we have done in the past, steer the ship. We will steer the ship of state into our safe harbor. Hallelujah. That was his speech. So again, I'm gonna ask you to please go over to Instagram and go we need to run in Pa Andrew. Brahma writes that we need to run in Pa Andrew. Listen, listen, somebody said, SouFlo, I don't see comment section under the video where we did about Sri Lanka. I'm thinking we're Monday live, right? Why some people under there like they're ready to fight me, Them say, them project girls. I don't ready for them to be like this. Yeah, somebody said SouFlo is stirring up stuff. SouFlo don't live in Jamaica where gunshot bust regular, him live a foreign. So what are you inciting here? I was merely telling the people that it's their constitutional right to peaceful protest, my friend. Me never stir up nothing. Me never tell the people them to go loot and shoot anything. Matter of fact, I applauded Sri Lanka because they weren't going looting and shooting. Nobody never said, are we going to protest or let's break these store windows because we need a flat screen and take out and, because that's what it seems like we normally do. I've seen it many times here in the U.S. We go out rioting or we go out protesting and then we end up, somebody in the group said, man, frig this protest. Yo, you see them flat screens in there? You see the video games, the Xbox, whatever. You see them iPhones, right? And them just start mash up the people in place. And Sri Lanka didn't do that. They went straight to right. They took the problem directly to. So I'm encouraging Jamaican people to start standing up for your own. How can you say that somebody hates Jamaica when I spend most of my time encouraging Jamaicans that are outside of Jamaica to come back to Jamaica? I encourage them to invest in Jamaica. Me tell them, say, no throw stone behind them. Me tell them, say, member your family members where you left a yard, All right. Nobody go down, they go on like, say, you better than them, take care of them. So when you go there, they will take care of you the same. All right. Me tell people, say, to stand up for themselves and make the place better. I encourage increased security by putting in a central monitoring point with cameras everywhere so we can actually start to see who is doing some of these things, and then we can kill them off if we have to, then bring back the death penalty. I encourage all kind of good stuff. I just say me hate Jamaica. I encourage the people to exercise their constitutional right to peaceful protest. It is your right, people. Enough Jamaican don't know that, Hear them. Another person said Jamaica couldn't do that to Sri Lanka, though. Whole heap of dead body would have about the place because who them not shoot them with an arrest. That can't work. Not if the people are protesting peacefully. They might grab one and two here and there, but did you see that crowd? And I know that Jamaica can produce that same crowd because I see it in the election photos. See? So if the people them just peacefully gather in a strong number, squad them are gonna move out of the way. Them no want tangle with you because it's not enough of them there. We don't have enough police officers in Jamaica and soldiers to cover the ground anyways. That's why crime is the way, especially violent murders or murder is the way that it is in Jamaica. We can't deal with the crime. I told you all that before, right? We can deal with the crime. If you're a broke house pickpocket boy, we can deal with that. We will cry about little things because some are expensive and we work hard for it. But we can replace it. But you say they're raping and you say they're killing, they're murdering, that part there, we don't want none of it and we can't deal with that. So we don't have enough police officers or law enforcement officials then to cover that many people. That is why I said shake the ground by doing a peaceful protest. Just gather up in a number like that and walk right into them neighborhood which part they live. If you surround Andrew House like this, I bet you see what you're asking for quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I know right now they're going to hear me and they're probably cussing me out. Yo, you see that boy there? You see that boy there? You hear what I tell the people them to do? Heighten up the security here, so because some of them might actually start listening to them idiot and them kind of thing there. But it's true, it can be done. I never encourage anybody to do no violence. I never tell you to shoot nobody. Somebody said them will murder people, Jamaicans stay so flow. Go read the comment them again. Jamaicans stay so flow. Then we go in there, go kill off people and these things. I said, well, if they go in there, kill, loot, do anything criminal, they weren't doing what I was encouraging them to do. Them going there go do what them want to do. And now we have a problem, right? Because I'm against that. I was encouraging them to peacefully protest. And if them run, so happen to run and left them door open, because that's what the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka did, right? Him vacate the premises, and the premises was open, so the people them just went right on in. They got scared. They got scared of your numbers. When you are united, you are strong. You ever hear 10,000 people move at the same time yet? It's a powerful thing. The army taught me that. When I saw everybody fall in, and you hear that sound, and it comes from like a whole battalion, and everybody move at the same move, it's a powerful thing. So imagine the people them actually executing that in unity. They would be scared just by hearing you coming down the street, man. But the people them don't realize yet that they actually have and hold the power. Jamaicans have given our power over to our elected officials and leaders, and they're the one that run the place. But them run it in a way where you supposed to be afraid of them. Remember, I know you pay them salary, you know. They work for you, you know. Yeah, I don't know if they know that. They work for you and you pay their salary. And you're supposed to fear them. And you're supposed to take crumbs when you didn't ask for crumbs, you asked for a slice of the bread. And you take it. And you say, thank you, sir. Thank you for the little crumbs. Me see what me can do to make it stretch further. You don't have no more. No, wait till me come back. All right, me will wait. Big up yourself here. Me nice, good, clean. Like, stop. They have you living at their feet and you elected them. So you can unelect them. You can unseat them. And the people of Jamaica need to know this, right? So that's how I deal with. I don't know who some people are trying to get this thing misconstrued. Him live a foreign and him try incite violence and start this and that on the island. I'm in Jamaica very often. All right. So me, I myself have to be careful of the things that I'll be saying or pushing, because people are going to see me out in the road. I'm in a move with no team of security and all these things. And I know how the place run. The women might be quicker to do that than the men. Them weak down there. Them only tough with guns, Seymour Bennett says. And that's sad. That's sad. But here what? I don't want you to generalize too much, because you do have men that are on the front lines there as far as speaking up, educating the people, standing up for the right. And so, and as the same way, you have man who only gun them tough with, and only badness, and I don't even call that badness, but only the foolishness they're into. It's the same thing for women. We have some women that are strong, upstanding, and will be there side by side if needed on the front lines, but you also have those who don't give a damn. Them only care about social media and trinkets. Because that's what runs the world today. Social media and trinkets. Trinkets. Things. And that's it. January 6th at the U.S. Capitol, those people moved in. Vicky Victory, thank you. Did you see the comment over there where somebody said, why a foreign you live? Why you don't tell the American people them to go protest? Why you tell Jamaican people to go protest for? Pardon me, but I do call people dunce sometimes. You know, I don't have to tell American people to protest. They protest all over this place. Sometimes they just steer clear of them. Matter of fact, they protest here on a daily basis. I see, listen, we live in Florida, right? And I see a truck pull up. Y'all know, I see the truck pull up and the truck have one big flag on it. And the flag big like this. I'm 6'5", you know. The flag big, so it's bigger than my wingspan, right? Big old flag flying off the back of the truck. You know what it say on it? Pardon my language. It says, fuck Biden. You are not my president. And then go Brandon on the they're not afraid to protest here. Imagine we drive around in Jamaica with one big flag on the back of your car and it says, fuck Andrew. You are not my prime minister. Imagine you do that. I'm in a country where people protest. I can't tell them to protest when they protest. Them put it in on them front yard. Them hang it off on the front of them house. They drive with it on the back of their car. When them ready, them come out with all them gun and everything and tell police about, come and get it. Come and get it. Finger tapping, trigger finger tapping the trigger. Come and get it. What more you want from them? The people them protest. Them, say the amount of mass shootings going on, and they're talking about taking away guns, and no civilian needs a gun that is a military grade weapon. Wait, you see them take away people them gun yet? No, because it's gonna be bloodshed to take those guns away. They said, yeah, talk whatever you want to talk. Come and get it. Come and get it. The people them protest here. The people in Jamaica don't protest. When I tell Jamaicans that, look, criminals have guns and they will always have guns. The very nature, criminal, means you go against the grade, you go against the law, you go against the status quo, right? You break law and you survive that way. That means when them say, no civilian must have guns, you have gun till you can't have gun no more, because you're a criminal. It's the regular people I'm worried about because they are over there trying to abide by the law while they're surrounded by armed criminals. Criminals who some of them are even more armed than our law enforcement officials. And yet still the people them don't see it necessary when I say stuff like, you know what Jamaica needs to do? The FLA, who controls, getting a permit to carry and all these things, they need to loosen up. They need to loosen up and they need to allow law-abiding tax-paying citizens to be able to be armed. Then they can also establish some places around the country like shooting ranges, and at these shooting ranges, they will have lessons. So whoever afraid of gun, them can go learn how to actually use their gun and, minimize that fear that you have. Because most Jamaican, especially the older ones, they feel like a gun will get up and shoot you by itself. So me no want them nowhere around it. Well, here what? That boy there, we are planning to break in your house later, him have a gun. And him nothing said to get up and shoot him. Him probably are going to use it shoot you. At least be a part of your own protection. They already told you they don't have enough law enforcement officials to cover everywhere and everybody. So what? You're just going to pray and wait? You're just going to pray and wait? Pray alone and do it. You have to be active and be a part of your own security. So these are the things that I try to tell the people, and some dunce people always ready to fight and ready to argue. Fear of the unknown, D-Mac says. Boy, Andrew over here give big speech and I tell people about beware of false prophets. And quite honestly, if you don't do anything today, go over to Instagram, find Chief Curry. Look at what Chief Curry is putting out right now. Scroll through and look at what he's been putting out for the past week. That's all I'm going to say. It has to do with cockpit country, but it is more detailed than ever before. And just like when we did that interview with Mr. Patterson of the UIC, and he revealed certain things that we didn't know. He left even my mouth wide open, right? And I know a lot of you mouth was wide open at home too, like, what? Nah. How come I didn't know that? What? No, man. No wonder. Go look at Chief Curry stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. And then to see Andrew over here talk about false prophet, all this. Why? They say in order to be a good politician, you have to be well wicked, because you have to be able to. This is exactly what the quote said, or quote unquote. It says, in order to be a good politician, or a superstar, you have to be well wicked. You have to be able to shake hands, kiss babies, wave, and then go behind a curtain and say, fuck all of them, and do things against all of them, right? So, me not trust none of them. Just like them saying, them peas, yeah. We have a call coming in. Let's see if we can take this call real quick. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFLo. How you doing?
I'm good, family. How you doing this morning?
I'm good.
All right.
I just wanted to say about what you're talking about, Chief Curry.
Mm-hmm.
He has a GoFundMe.
Right.
He took the link off Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
The link you have now go to his website. But if you guys Google Chief Curry GoFundMe, you will see the GoFundMe. He has legal fees because he's suing the government of Jamaica.
Right.
It's $70,000 he's trying to raise.
Mm-hmm.
He's only raised $16,000.
Right.
So $25 go a long way, even if it's that. A lot of go KFC and spend more than $25 because I know the bucket is about $29. So you know what I'm saying. So go give a donation. This is important. We like to talk. We like to trob on, and we like to pray because we don't like to be active. We don't like action. We want somebody else come and give action. That's why I said big up to this. That's all we do. Trouble bond and talk about, yeah, man, I do this and that, and don't do nothing. Even when there are access to options, we don't. That's how we are as a people, and that's why we are at the bottom. Use the Sri Lankans as an example. We have to take matters into our own hands. Even if it's $25, it go a long way. Everybody give a little $25, can reach the goal.
Facts.
Jamaica, what I was learning because I was watching a documentary, has one of the largest potable water reserves in the world. I didn't know that.
That's what Mr. Patterson told us from the UIC. Right. He said we shouldn't be having water problems, but we do.
Right. So if everybody just sit down and watch and pray, Jamaica will be the first island that will be like Sahara Desert. Because by the time they finish mining out the place, the whole place is going to be nothing but dirt. And then the same people who are watching and praying are going to complain, look how the place run down, right? So we don't have to get there. It's like go back in time and let's do something now. We have to start being active as people because God is not going to come and save us. He's given us the tools to save ourselves. There's and I don't fully know the quote, but during the Haitian Revolution, there was a man named Dutty Boukman who was actually from Jamaica. He was shipped from Jamaica to Haiti, and he initiated the voodoo ceremony that ignited the Haitian Revolution. The revolution actually started in like 1791, right? With that, and it was a fight,
right?
And they won in 1804. And there were people at the time saying, hey, what can we do? You know, these people got guns, they got cannons and all that kind of stuff. He said, God has already given us everything we need. He said, the stone you're sitting on can be used as a weapon. The trees can be used to hide us. He's given us everything we need, our arms, our strength. We're strong people. All we need to do is unify. And they did. And they did something that has never been done in human history. Right? Outside of the Maroons as a group, but as a nation, it's never been done in human history. Right? So we have way more tools than our ancestors had. And we really have to start using them. Because we look at the history, we hold our head up high, we're strong, we're proud, and we have to make sure that this next 7 generations to come can look at us with that same level of pride. We have to move.
Right.
So that's my message.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One thing about that caller there, every time she calling is profound. It's never wishy-washy, and it's precise and profound. Now, let me tell. Now, man, that's deep. So I just said it too, some of it. But we go around saying how strong we are and we stand on the shoulder of giants, and our ancestors were so strong and they made so much sacrifices for us to move us forward in society on earth. And then she just said, but we have to keep that going, and we have to make sure that the next 7, 8 generations of ours are able to look at us the same way. Right now, the next 7 generations, they're gonna look on when them flip the history book pages and be like, okay, so this is all right. So them did week out. Can you see that? Yeah, another period of from 2000 or something until them did week, man. How people reach us? So how all this them allow all this to happen? Watch out. And then they started. Oh, so this is where they took over cockpit country, and then this is where they started the heavy mining, and then Jamaica became, damn. So it really used to be pretty lush green vegetation. The sea was full with all kinds of creatures, living creatures, abundance, food, all this, and then this. Why did they let this happen? This is how they're gonna be reading about us after they talk about the greatness and how them fight hard and how them, and then them reach our period, and then they're like, yeah, and they got social media and internet. Technology was booming at that time, so them couldn't do more. Instead, they did way less. Look how we know. I hear some Chinese man talk about, wake up, time to go. your grandchildren's children are heading back to the plantation. Time to go. We better be careful. That is if we get included. Jane Anders said that is if we get included. Yeah, because the way we are moving is like them can probably write us all the way out as if we never existed. That too. That too. You might see in future, 'cause none of us are going to be here forever. So you might see somewhere down the road in the far future that literature is rewritten to where, oh, these were the first Jamaicans. First Jamaicans. Mandarin was their first language. And they built all this powerful people, and they're descendants of the motherland of China. And you never existed. You're like, where are the descendants of the Africans, and where are the ones that were there before they came, and where are the natives? None of this in the book, in the thought. I mean, he who is in power tells the story, right? So when are we going to be able to tell the story or control the narrative? Babylon has a great city and a greater fall. Well, hey, we have to suffer through it then. If that's the consensus. Anyways, when there is no water, that is when they will be fed up, says Jane Ander. And it's true. When the place is completely destroyed is when they will start to make a whole lot of noise, when it's too late. Well, that sister that just called, and me myself as well, I'm telling you right now, and I didn't wake up this morning saying, I'm gonna get the people them to go look upon Chief Curry stuff and what he got going on. I was actually just reading. I found this interesting that Andrew Holness was calling on the nation to be aware of false prophets. And me following Chief Curry, knowing what's going on, and watching him do this, my mind just keeps saying, but this is a false prophet that's telling us to beware of false prophets. It's button in my forehead. And I just happened to say, hey, go check out Chief Curry stuff. I never wake up this morning, I said, me have to tell them about Chief Curry stuff. Chief Curry wasn't even on my mind until I started reading through this thing right here. So listen up. One bag of talking, no movement, no action, we will suffer the consequences. Point blank, period. All right. Roseanne King says, SouFlo, too many people know who we are, and we are rewriting our own history. Too many people know who we are, and we are rewriting our own history. Yeah. Let's make sure that we're rewriting it in a way where we're honorable to the future us then, to our future. Because we could be dishonorable, we could be seen as lazy and backward and all that other stuff. And then again, at the end of the day, right, we're rewriting our history now. Us here, none of us are going to live past the next 100 years. And I don't know if we spoke about this before. Not picking on Chinese. I'm just saying, when we look at stuff, we tend to look at stuff, and I'm speaking in general, we tend to look at stuff as either right now or a little bit down the road, like 1 and 2 years from now, 3, 4, 5 years from now, 7 years from now. That's how we look at stuff, right? They look at stuff in 100 years from now. 75, 50, 75, 100 years from now is how they look at stuff. And because of that, they're always way ahead of us. So we are planning for 3, 4, 5, 7 years down the road. Then we're planning for 50, 100 years down the road, right? Just putting that out there. Yes, we are rewriting history, and it's for our future children. All right. Rosemary King, you sound optimistic, which is good to be. It's good to be, but I don't see the work going in. I don't see the work going in. Like, they're literally about to drill out the whole of cockpit country. I don't see the work going in. And I've been passing around the petition. I've been passing around the GoFundMe that she just talked about. I just got a link to it yesterday and on my phone, and I've been passing it around. So if you follow me on Instagram and you see it pop up from me, That's what I'm doing. I'm just passing it to multiple people. I didn't send it to just you alone, right? So any little thing that we can do to help, like don't just scroll past. Pass it around. Contribute a thing. $20, $25, $5. I say gas expensive now, cost of living gone up. Some people not doing financially well. I'm sure you could give $5. I'm sure you could give $2. You can give something every dollar count. Just don't do not just do nothing. All right. A good book to read, Dr. Claude Anderson, Black Labor, White Wealth. I have just donated to the fund. Rosemary King. All right, Rosemary, thank you. What the book name? Black Labor, White Wealth. I hear my son crying. Kai? Makai? Come here, Papa. Y'all know me break the show. I gotta break the show every time if I hear him. What's up? You okay? What happened? What happened? You want to take it off? So don't cry. Just say you want to take it off. Come. You okay? You want juice? You don't have juice? Did you go see mommy? You asked her for juice? Kai, just wake up. You want some of my juice? I got apple juice. Here, look, but it's in a cup.
Now I can get my cup.
You want your own cup?
Okay. Juice.
Hey, I'm gonna break for a minute. I want to talk about the Reggae Girlz next, and Elaine Thompson switching sides. So give me a minute. Let me go get them in juice. All right, I'll be right back. I wish I could play you some music in the meantime, but copyright infringement. Come, Papa. Yeah, that is working. All right. Thanks for waiting. I appreciate you. I'm multitasking, as you can see. I don't know. My kids, some people used to be offended by that. Why don't you just separate your life and take care of your damn kids before? Somebody actually said that. Take care of your damn kids before you come on screen and all this. People always have a problem. They have a problem with you drinking on screen. Why is it so unprofessional? Why are you sipping from a cup on screen? Why you have your kids on screen? Why you did? Hey, it's real life, right? And we're real people living in real time. So anyhow, let's get right to the other topic now. We already know what's going on that end and what we need to do, and I hope we are all on board for doing so. So the next thing now I would like to say is shout out to and big up to the Reggae Girlz. The Reggae Girlz qualified for World Cup. This is huge because this is a back-to-back qualifications for the World Cup, right? Jamaica defeated Haiti 4-0 on Monday night at the CONCACAF or the CONCACAF Women's Championship in Mexico to qualify for their second straight FIFA World Cup. It was the second time in history that a Caribbean team has qualified for a Women's World Cup. It was the second time in history that a Caribbean team has qualified for a Women's World Cup. With the victory, Jamaica finished second in Group A of the preliminary round, which handed the Reggae Girlz a direct pass to the 2023 World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. The defending World Cup champion is the United States of America, and they won the group, also qualifying for the 2023 World Cup. See? That's dope. The second time in history that a Caribbean team has qualified for the Women's World Cup. So they didn't just qualify for the World Cup, they made history. This is the second time in history that a Caribbean team has qualified. And this is Jamaica's back-to-back. The women have qualified back-to-back. So it's safe to say that the first time that a Caribbean team qualified for women for the World Cup, it was Jamaica that did it. That's huge. And the second time, it was Jamaica that did it. Bigger and bigger and better. So shout out to them. And what I was going to talk about this morning was more like, on this topic, was more like the women are holding us down, right? Or should I say holding us up? Well, some language that we use sometimes, you know, when you say somebody is holding you down, I know we have a different meaning to it when we think of it. Holding me down means taking care of what needs to be taken care of, standing by me, and all this stuff. But in actuality, when you hold down somebody, it means they're pinned down and them can't move. So I'm going to start saying holding us up, right? So the women have been holding us up on all fronts. And the men seem to have, I'm not going to bash the men. I'm just saying they haven't been able to, you know, step out like before. At one time it was. It was the men. But it was the men and the women. And the men have faltered and the women have stepped up to the forefront. Do you know that the last time Jamaica qualified for the World Cup, the men, I believe, let me see. I did look it up. Can Jamaica still qualify? Did Jamaica qualify for the World Cup? When was the last time? And it says the last time the Jamaican men qualified for the FIFA World Cup was in 1998. 1998. This might be wrong. I might have missed something, but this is what the record says. 1998. Now, if the last time the men qualified was 1998, and the women have made history by being the first Caribbean team to ever qualify for women, and also came back and did it again and make this another historic move by qualifying back to back for the World Cup, that says they need more funding, or at least equal funding, than the men. And it's always been a topic of conversation that they don't get the same kind of attention. They don't get the same media notoriety. They don't get the same funding financially like the men do. Spend the money on the results. I agree. Mervin the Point, Jamaica Kerr says, spend the money on the results. You know, they keep pumping money into the reggae boys. I'm not trying to take food out anybody's mouth. They keep pumping money into the reggae boys. But the last time they qualified for a World Cup was 98. We're in 2022. It seems like the women are the ones that are the powerhouse, right? So they might have to divert those funds, since you know they're going to cry and say there isn't enough money to go around. So I think they're probably going to have to divert those funds. But I have heard that even when the men are losing and are not doing very well, they still pump all the money into them and still ignore the women, even when the women are winning constantly and the men are losing constantly, they still pump all the money into the men. And I don't think that's fair. Because look, they're out here creating history in our name. And we're underfunding them. So I don't know. It was like that with the US female team, and they made a big deal out of it. Seymour Bennett says, spend the money on the results. All right, so big up to the Jamaica Reggae Girlz again. And thank you for being you. Thank you for being strong. Big up to Sadella Marley, because as you know, she is she's very much a part of this, right? She's very much a part of this. Bob Marley daughter, she's very much a part of this. And I thank them for making us look good out in the world. Elevate these women, Anita Kanan says. Definitely. Definitely. Moving right along. The last one for the morning is Elaine Thompson Herah. Did y'all know? Today is what? Today is Wednesday? I don't know the days of the week, because I'll be working a lot. Today is Wednesday. All right. Friday starts the World Championships. That's the day after tomorrow. The big showdown that we've been waiting for. Who is it gonna be? Some people are saying, yo, Shelly and Fraser Price, I got dust off Elaine. Trust me, SouFLo, watch and see. I'm still saying that Elaine is my underdog, and I notice how they give more attention to certain people than they do, and them kind of underplay Elaine and all this. And then, of course, the media always plays it up like there's some kind of animosity going on between the ladies and all this. But all that makes for controversy, which makes for our eyes turn towards them. And Friday, it begins. I will be glued to this thing. I believe the World Championships is over 5 days. I think it's over 5 days. And we have quite a few people in it. But our women are set to do a smash and grab. And it's going to be epic. And it's going to be epic because it's going to be that sweep, or it's going to be some other nation that's going to upset us, and some kind of miracle or something like go on. I don't know, but it's going down. Shericka Jackson is set to shock us, I think. Shericka Jackson got the whole world eyes on her now. Yes, Seymour. Shericka Jackson got the whole world eyes on her. I'm getting a bit nervous for Elaine. Yes, Jane Ander, me too, because you don't really know if she is 100. You don't really know if she's in 100% good, because that's athletics for you. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can train good, feel good. Your race is on Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you train good, you feel good. You're doing, everything is in order. And Thursday, bam, you're like, Rotted, what is this? And you got to go run Friday. So I'm hoping that all things line up. It's a delicate situation. I hope that all things line up. I want to see all of them fully fit, no excuses, at their 100 best. And then we will decide who is who. Because if Elaine run against an injured Shelly Ann who's nursing an injury but she hide it, me not gonna take that as it's situation. If everybody is out there, yep, I have no issues, fully 100 ready to go, that's gonna be exciting. That's gonna be exciting. Definitely, Shericka Jackson has the world's eyes on her. Not only Shericka Jackson though, there's another young lady who I can't remember her name now, but I'm about to remember her name now, because we're talking now about Elaine switching sides. I know some people are like, oh my God, what do you mean switch sides? Switch sides of what, like shall I run for one next country? No. Elaine says she would never do that. And I don't think she ever will. And big up to them. Yo, listen, let me tell y'all something. You see these athletes that are representing us at a superior level, you know that there are offers out there for them that are big that they could take. So it wouldn't be nothing if they were ungrateful to see a Shelly and Fraser Price show up on a track in a US uniform, or Elaine Thompson Herah, fastest woman in the world, show up on a track in a British uniform or a Canadian uniform, We've had great athletes who went over to the other side. And right now, if you check the roster for some of these first world big countries, there are Jamaicans that are running for them in their uniform right now. So we have to say big them up because them never run for the money, you know. It was more for being a part of something bigger than themselves. It was more about the pride and it was more about bringing it home and stuff like that. That has to be commended. That has to be commended. Anyhow, double Olympic sprint champion, the switch sides that we're talking about. Double Olympic sprint champion Elaine Thompson Herah is reportedly, again, shout out to the Observer this time, is reportedly close to confirming a deal with the German sportswear company Puma. A move which would signal the end of her long association with the American brand Nike. So the switch sides is switching from Nike to Puma. Well, may I tell you why I think she should switch? And she should switch as soon as there's any room in that contract to switch. Thompson Herah, who is scheduled to depart the island Monday for the World's Athletic Championship in Eugene, Oregon, was spotted at the Norman Manley International Airport sporting full Puma lifestyle gear, head to toe, which importantly includes footwear, sparking question over her status with Nike. You have to hear this part about the footwear part. Athletes are required to wear gear from the team's sponsor while on national duty, but this does not include footwear. Their footwear is exclusively reserved for their individual sponsor. So if Puma is sponsoring the team, they have to wear Puma top, Puma pants, Puma something by your head. But if you have Nike sponsoring you as an individual, even though your team is sponsored by Puma, then your footwear must always be Nike. That's in your contract. Well, they saw her with Puma on her foot too, not Nike. So now it's like, well, she hasn't come out and confirmed it yet, but these are the stipulations and the clauses in these contracts, and she is either in violation of this or something has gone on behind the scenes that she hasn't told us in the public as yet. Athletes are required to wear gear. They spotted her in the airport and she was all Puma'd out, head to toe. And they have a picture right here in the newspaper. You can go to the Jamaica Observer and go see the picture of her with her luggage going through the airport, and she have on all Puma. Puma shoes, Puma shirt, Puma pants, right? And it's supposed to be your footwear is exclusively reserved for your individual sponsor. For her, her individual sponsor used to be Nike, was Nike. It is understood that Thompson Herah's contract with Nike ended a few months ago, and that discussions with Puma, who is also a longtime sponsor of the Jamaica Athletic Administrative Association, the Jamaica Olympic Association, and several past and present Jamaican athletes like Usain Bolt, Asafa Powell, Hansel Parchment. Hansel Parchment, by the way, my friend, is slated to go gold in the hurdles again. Hansel Parchment, Sherika Jackson, Megan Tapper, and Russell Clayton. They commenced at the expiration of a 180-day Nike clause. The clause afforded the American supplier, which has sponsored the Jamaican, which is Elaine, since she turned pro. Nike has been on her sponsor ever since she turned pro. In this clause, the clause afforded the American supplier Nike, which has sponsored her, the first right to refusal of any competing proposal, meaning the sprinter would have to re-sign with Nike once they decide to match her offers. So there's a clause of 180 days at the end of your contract where you can lay in limbo and you can either say, let me take this 180 days and go shop around and see. I mean, flex her powers a little bit now. I'm the fastest woman in the world. You know what I mean? Put some respect on my name. Put some zeros on them numbers on that check kind of thing. That's what they're talking right now. See? So the 180 days, she's out there. She's like, let me hear what Puma is saying. Let me hear what you say again, Nike? Well, hey, Nike, listen. You say 20 mil, Puma is saying 30. Nike has first dibs. So Nike can come back and say, okay, well, if Puma is saying 30, we'll match the 30 because we don't want you going anywhere. Oh, Nike, Puma just said 40 because you said 30. We'll match that 40. And the clause allows Nike to match the competitive bid all the way till they decide, well, you know what? You could go to Puma because that's just too high. Hey, Nike, Puma just said 100 mil. And Nike is like, hell no, you're not worth that much to us. So this is where we part ways. It was nice doing business with you. Or they'll be like, we don't want you going anywhere, Elaine. We're matching that number. Matter of fact, we'll match that number and put 20 more on it. And she'll be like, you know what? I'm signing back with you again. Or I just want to leave. So that's where she's at in the clause, right? The clause affords the American supplier, which has sponsored the Jamaican since she turned pro, the first right to refusal of any competing proposals, meaning the sprinter would have to re-sign with Nike once they decide to match her offers. It is not clear whether Nike offered an extension or the value of the reported Puma deal. But she was spotted in Puma though, head to toe, including her feet, which is reserved for individual sponsor only. I think it's safe to say she switched sides. So she's with Puma. But we'll still wait. Maybe she come tell us, say, you know what? It was a mistake. I woke up this morning and I just grabbed my favorite pair of Puma sneakers and because I had to go catch my flight and that's it. But no, man, I'm still with Nike. You don't know. So until she says it, we'll wait to hear her say it. Thompson Herah has had a frosty relationship with Nike in recent months and removed the company as a sponsor from her social media bio after the Tokyo Olympic Games. Anybody knows why? That omission took place during a period when fans of the Jamaican were complaining about the brand's limited promotion of the 10.54 second sprinter. 10.54. No, man. Them speed they reserve for machine. 10.54, right? Compared to less successful American athletes. So let's not mince words. Nike don't rate her. Them underrate her. You understand? They were given more ratings to, what's that girl name that never won any races, but she talked a lot? Sha'Carri Richardson. Nike was giving more attention to Sha'Carri Richardson and her things that she had going on. And they actually paid more attention to all the other athletes that are like American athletes than they did to Elaine. Even though it's understandable that Nike is an American company and this was the Olympics, and kind of know we have foreigners play basketball in the US, right? But when the Olympics come around, they actually go back to their country and play for their country and represent their country in the Olympics. And then when that's over, they come back to the NBA and play for their team here. So it's a job. And then there is pride of nationality. Conflict of interest much? I don't know. But I did realize that. And I was like, damn, Nike don't rate her at all. Because they're not giving her no big billboard. They're not bigging her up. 10.54, fastest woman in the world. And you go talk about, here comes Sha'Carri Richardson. She's going through some things right now, but we're going to stick by her. We're not going to abandon her. And you're like, I know that's what we want to hear right now, Nike. We want to hear about Elaine. We want to hear about Elaine. And they'll blow up whoever just won the next race, or even when Americans come in like third and fourth and fifth and seventh, Nike is still right there. It's all about American for them. So we don't think that was a good fit for Elaine. And Puma has a storied history with Jamaica. Puma, by the way, my friend, is a German company. I didn't know that. But Puma has a storied history with Jamaica and Jamaica athletics, right? Puma has been there since the beginning of Usain, since when Usain was a jit, we call that, right? And Puma never left him. And I remember Usain saying he had other lucrative deals he could have signed. He could have signed with Nike, big monstrous deal, but it was out of honor for a company that saw something in him before he even became that which he became. And they saw it and they were like, it is him. He's gonna be that. Whatever y'all need, right? And he carried that. So now that he became this big global icon, he was like, I'm not leaving who I started with, so I'm sticking to Puma. Plus, Puma is very much invested in athletics in Jamaica as far as training incentives for the athletes and all these other things, and the new generation of young athletes that are coming up as well. They're heavily invested in that as well. So I just think that Puma is a good fit for her. Now, at the end of the day, let's talk money though, because that's what it comes down to. Sometimes it's honor and sometimes it's money. You're not going to be 30 years old forever. She's 29, just turned 30. She's not going to be that forever. And in the world of athletics, especially track and field, you're young still, but I mean, the Olympics comes around every 4 years. So the next Olympics, she'll be what? Probably about one just happened. So she'll be what? 33, 34. And then the next one, she'll be 38, pushing 40. So you see what I'm saying? She'll probably have like one or two more Olympics if she push it in her. So you got to secure your coins while you can. Like my granny did say, you have to strike the iron or strike the hammer while the iron is hot, right? So I think that's where it lies for her. Fallon Carrington says it's facts. I watched the documentary and respect to Usain Bolt. Yes, it was in his documentary. He said it. He could have signed a monstrous deal with Nike, but he was like, Puma has been there for him since before he was somebody. When he was unruly, Usain, because them say Usain used to left and go party, and play football, because football and cricket and them something there. Real Jamaican youth, that country boy, cricket and football, and buck off him toe and injure himself when he's supposed to be training to run and all these things. And Nike never abandoned him. And not Nike, Puma never abandoned him. They stayed there and they're like, he's gonna be that. He'll get focused, and when he does, he's gonna be that powerhouse to be reckoned with. And so said, so happened. And they never left. And for that, he honors them. And I just think it's a good fit for Elaine as well. Or for any Jamaican athlete that could get a deal, a big deal out of Puma. Now, Puma better be talking that money, that real money, because what she did is no easy feat, and it ain't never been done, So talk that real money, pay her like she's worth. Because if an American athlete did what Elaine Thompson did, they would be paying her buku bucks, and I'm talking up in the $100 million range. So I hope they're really talking real money to her. You want to be proud, and you want to see her get the bag. You want to see her get the whole, man, add zeros till it look crazy on it. Let me just walk around and say, yo, Elaine rich, like she thinking rich, I don't know, it's one of ours. So I just want to see it. Good morning, SouFlo and family. It's been a while and I haven't been on the live. Patsy Barrett, you are absolutely right. That's a name I haven't seen in a while. I hope all is well with you. Where did Corona go? Just asking for a friend, because I know it's still out there, but it don't look like people are too concerned about it anymore. I see big crowds gathering everywhere. Nobody is wearing masks. And me not hear nobody too much I complain about getting ill, sick, Corona, COVID, nothing like that. Except for like real elderly people that are very fragile and them get a light touch right now and all these things. I'm just saying, where did it go? Anyway, wherever it go, it can stay there. It licked me before it left. So wherever it went, it can stay there. I'm enjoying this weather. I'm enjoying the summer getting here. I'm enjoying being outside again. I'm enjoying seeing people and being able to talk to them and seeing their faces, so you can know if somebody are pointing to you. So that's Caribbean people feel. Watch him now. Who you talk? We couldn't do that with mask on, don't it? You know, okay? We're different. Them sell out themselves. They're like, him over there. We not use with hand. We got some. Who you talk? Look over here, so look over here, so. Use your mouth and point. We couldn't do that before. So we're able to do that now, and I'm thankful. So wherever COVID, corona, or whatever it is gone, it can stay right over there. All right. Puma is also believed to have signed up-and-coming Jamaican sprinter Kemba Nelson is her name. That's the name I was looking for. So you have Shericka Jackson, you have Kemba Nelson, them two young gunners right there, and then you have Shericka Jackson, Kemba Nelson. Matter of fact, I think the other day when Shericka beat Elaine, it was Kemba that came in second and Elaine came in third. So that's to give you an idea. And you might, just like I said, Elaine wasn't running at full speed, full force, I don't think. However, she wasn't running to lose. And Kemba was able to stay the course and even edge her out to take second place, right? It was all about qualifying to get to this games, which starts the day after tomorrow. I'm super excited for this. And Puma is believed to have also signed her, Kemba Nelson, the second place finisher. Yes, she was. The second place finisher in the 100 meter at the National Senior Championships. They have believed to have signed her to a lucrative deal recently. Both Thompson Herah and Kemba Nelson are managed by Andy Sports. You know, some people are saying she need proper management, husband of a husband, and some people just wicked in a man. Husband of a husband. You don't know what husband have to do with your track career. You better go get proper management, and you shouldn't have left coach where him name there. That's why you start perform bad and all this stuff, boy. People always have your life sorted out when you don't, right? Even when they don't have their own life sorted out. They got, hi, sugar. Come here, mommy. Come, daddy. You just wake up? Come. You don't like my glasses? Munchie. Milani. I'm trying to get Milani to come to me. I'm about to end the video right now anyway, so both Thompson Herah and Kemba Nelson are actually managed by Andy Sports, which is led by former Jamaican sprinter Marvin Anderson. Just a little FYI for you. So Friday is coming. International Championships is on, and we will be there in full force representing to the fullest. Get your pot cover, your Dutch pot cover them ready on these things, because it's going to be a whole lot of clanging going on and a whole lot of super excitement, right? All right. Big up on yourself. I got my jersey flag and my pot covers ready for seat there. That me I talk about. The pot cover them. Get your pot covers ready, because it's about to go down. It's about to be crazy. And these women are about to surprise us. I don't want to speak no bad nothing over nothing. My money is still on Elaine to shock everybody even some more. Watch and see. With that said, we're going to leave that right where it's at this morning. I started out 18 minutes late. I gave you back more than 18 minutes. Manners and respect to each and every one of you. Thank you. I appreciate you so much, and have a wonderful day. Keep a smile on your face. Big up yourself. Don't forget to go over to Chief Curry Stuff on Instagram. Check out what it is he's dealing with and see where you fit in and what you can do to make something better. All right? One love. Peace. Come, Munchie. You not come, daddy? Aww. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
What? We going bye-bye?